Y'all underestimate me. I can be with any woman I want.
You recording?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh no! No! No!
You better stop!
You better stop!
We were playing League the other day, and somebody typed in "re," like unironically.
Oh
Right.
And
no!
I'm just like, what have we come to?
I mean, if you came to that, I mean, you're the low one.
Midnight
Get it?
Blue!
That's a good thing. I love beat. No, stop. I don't know if you'll move it, and then I'll be like, oh, I got a toe full in my mouth.
That's okay, they're clean.
Get him!
You did
Get
take shower.
I took shower.
I took shower.
I took shower.
I took shower. Is he actually recording?
Yeah.
Can you believe more people plan to watch Pat Labor, the television series, than how many people on Mal have actually completed it? 13,000.
More people plan to watch the series than have actually watched the series.
Yes, 13,000
That's impressive.
plan to watch it. 8,000 have completed
Pat
it.
Labor is one of those series that everybody likes to talk big about, and they're like, yeah, I'll get into that one day, and then
Well, it's multiple seasons and stuff too, isn't it?
it's like one.
It's one season that's
like,
47 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really
3
anything.
movies, an OVA series, and
Okay,
then
it's growing.
and like I believe there's like 2 OVA series, if I'm not mistaken. One's like 13 episodes and one's only like 5.
So you guys know if you're working tomorrow?
We're not.
Cool. Cool.
Because we were good workers this week and got all the work done.
Corona.
I left my mask on my car.
Me too.
Me 3.
You were gonna throw that at me. I saw it in your eyes.
You're not wrong.
Sucker.
I watched some anime.
I didn't.
I mean, I've watched
I've
the anime
noticed.
that we've been planning to talk about for like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and play
I don't think my
Anime is stupid.
Man, you're gay, and I hate you because I hate the gays.
Chase my gay.
when you want to compliment a friend,
No homo.
but you don't want that friendship to end. No homo. Tell a dude just how you feel. No homo. Say no homo so he knows it's real.
2 dudes sitting in the hot tub, 5 feet apart.
They're not gay.
Straight. Alright. Yeah.
Where's the?
Yeah, hit it again.
Why'd you put the? Did you hit my keyboard?
It's how they sit. It's that one. The mics sit easy on the bottom shelf. Oh, I spin it around so it can sit under the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet. Hey, why's that down there?
How'd that get there?
You're tearing this family apart.
What family?
My family.
Your family's dead.
No, only 1/5.
You watch E.
Ah, you hit me in the tit.
And the
The robot
yeah.
space alien.
yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah. It was
Ooh.
fun. The Gantz.
Yeah, made by
guy.
the author of Gantz.
Yeah.
Inuyashiki.
And he just put the character in there and like, oh yeah, I love the Gantz manga.
I don't know what show that is.
It's the one where the old
Well,
guy.
it's
It's the one with the old guy and the teenager point their fingers at each other and they go bang 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 bang. Da 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 da. Ra da 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 da.
Is that the one where the old? Is it all CG and the old guy turns into a robot?
Yeah,
or whatever?
Yeah, like a meteor crash and kills the old guy and it turns into a robot.
Because they can basically point at someone and say bang and it'll basically shoot them.
Yeah, and then he goes on a mass murder
Yeah.
rampage in the middle of the city. It's
Yeah.
kind of strangely
So
topical at
so
times.
so the last episode is
It's
just
super
them.
rude.
The last episode is both of them in a park and they're both aiming at each other and they're like bang 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 da 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 and then one of them's holding down like an AK-47. He's like ra da 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 ra da 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 da.
It gets pretty weird.
And then they just get all these ripples in their bodies
It looks
because
really weird.
yeah,
It's really good.
it's not gonna kill them or anything because they're both like aliens now and stuff like that. So they're just getting like ripples in their bodies from like.
It's super weird.
I saw Parasites on Netflix now. I'm not gonna watch it
Which
again.
Which Parasite? The movie or
The Maximum. The Maximum.
Oh, okay.
Not the Maximum. Parasite the
The
Maxim.
Maxim.
Really bad.
Parasite, the movie, the Korean movie.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
on
on Hulu. That's a good movie.
Nobody has Hulu.
I have
That's a-
Hulu.
Oh,
Aaron has
I
Hulu
still
too,
have
apparently.
Hulu, but I forgot to cancel that.
If you cancel it, they'll probably give you an email to bring you back, and they'll give you a good deal. I'll
They'll be
tell you
like,
that.
wait, don't go. Take this next month on us.
They were like, hey, $24 for an entire year. And I was like, I mean, even if it's ad supported, I can live with that.
Just run ad block.
That's really good.
I have uBlock Origin
Yeah.
extension. It doesn't seem to. Well, so it depends. If I'm watching on my PlayStation 4, obviously, it doesn't.
Watching it on a PlayStation.
Well, I can't hook up my. I would watch it on my PC, just hooked up to my TV with my nice Logitech wireless keyboard, but it doesn't work anymore because now that I'm working from home, my desk has been appropriated to my workstation,
Right.
and there's no room for my laptop to sit on there anymore.
Yeah.
Which means I can't have a place for my laptop to sit
I guess.
while I hook it up to my TV very easily.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey, give that back.
Okay. Hey, Governor.
Thanks, hey.
You're welcome.
You want me to drink this first, or do you want to take a sip first?
I mean, I'll take your backwash.
Dude, you can't share Corona.
Oh, right. But
Oh,
we knuckle
yeah,
bumped.
6 feet apart.
We bumped knuckies.
Yeah, we knucky bumped.
You have to know what that sounds like.
What?
What, knucky bumped?
Chase, you have to know. You
Knucky?
have to. Chase, you have to know.
What's it sound like, George?
Sounds like bumping uglies.
Knucky?
Knuckies?
Yeah!
It's a knucky.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not crazy!
We're done.
You're the crazy one.
If
That's
you-
2 words.
Anyone who listens to this is gonna be like, this is a euphemism.
For what, knuckies?
These guys, they didn't say no homo, they just said this outright. They're gay. They're gay lovers. They're taking dicks in the butt.
To be fair, I've slept in the same bed as Chase.
So have I.
See? We're all knuckies.
Didn't
Well, we all had
fit-
our socks on.
Did-
I
didn't-
hope. I know I did.
Didn't we
I
all
didn't.
three share a bed one time?
No.
What? No, we're not gay, Chase.
There was...
It
There
was
was-
you, George, and Jeff. I had the cot.
So... Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That
Because there
cop
was one...
super awful.
It wasn't bad.
That guy came in, didn't speak a lick of English. Like, literally, dude came to the door. Not a single word.
It was English.
It was amazing.
He was like, are you good? Yeah, thank you. I turned around and Jeff was like, did you understand what he said? Like, no.
No. We just agreed and
I
took the
smiled.
bed.
I smiled and nodded, and he was happy too. Like he was happy that I was happy.
Yeah.
I turned around, and Jeff was like, "You understood what he said?" I was like, "Oh hell no, not a word."
Not a single word.
Like,
when we
the
got
door
the
closes
cot.
and you're like, wait a minute. No, I didn't understand anything.
I just did, like, oh my gosh, I still have no idea what happened. He came to the door.
He rang the bell or knocked, whatever.
Yeah, not.
I was like, we were just like, oh, it's the dude with the cot that we asked for because we needed the extra bed in the hotel
Yeah.
room.
I
Opened the door.
I answered it because it was my bed.
Sounds happened.
You're in
That's
the
right.
you're in
That's
the
right.
shower.
Because we got to the hotel and then
Oh, my.
they were like, Jeff was like, "There's only one bed, but they're gonna give us a cot," and you're like, "Dibs on the cot."
Yeah.
Yeah, big mistake.
Oh, yeah, huge mistake.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, it was
I'd
a
never
giant
take a
mistake.
cot. I'd rather sleep on the floor.
No,
Well, maybe not the floor, but I
not
was,
the floor of a hotel room.
okay.
I've slept on.
I would.
I mean, I slept on the floor of a hotel room one year.
multiple times.
That
I would
you-
sleep on the chair before I sleep on those cots. Though
That,
I'd like take that and an ottoman or whatever, and I was just like,
But that's what you did one year. The
It's
first year we
what
were
I
at that
had
all
done.
day.
When my family would put a family of 6 into a room like that, even with 2 beds and stuff like that, 2 people on each bed and stuff like that, it's like someone's gonna sleep on the floor.
Yeah,
probably Craig.
It was me half the time.
I mean, to me, yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, and then in the
But
morning
still
I
leaves
would.
one more though, which
Yeah.
would probably be Craig.
In the morning, someone would get up, and I'd get up and just jump in the bed.
There was that one year Otakon when I had really bad poison ivy. I slept on the floor because it was so bad. I was moving around a bunch and just like scratching myself. I was like, I'm not going to bother anybody sleeping in a bed, so I'm just going to get on the floor.
Dude, poison ivy sucks.
How'd you?
I hate.
You got it
poison ivy.
before we went?
I went hiking and with Big
right,
Cat
right,
and some people, and
Dude, when we get Big Cat up here, I need to meet this gentleman. We need to get him up here.
you
Get
can just
him.
go down there.
No,
He's going out soon.
get him and John to come
true,
up
we can
here or come over here.
John
and,
won't
so-
be coming over anytime soon, not with him being unemployed and everything.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
thinking of visiting them at some point.
Hmm?
I was thinking of visiting all of them.
Well,
at some
where is
point.
John in West Virginia?
He's
too?
in Virginia Beach.
we
He's
can
in
all
Virginia. That's
we
not
can
that
all
far.
pinch in and pay for his
My dad was born in
Otakon
Virginia
ticket
Beach,
next year.
actually.
I mean, to be fair, we could just drive.
Yeah, we could.
And
Oh,
actually,
okay.
it's like
Virginia Beach is like what, 4 hours? 5 hours?
yeah, and to Big Cat, it's only like 4 or 5 hours.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff, me, Chase, and Brandon did a 4 or 5 hour day trip.
That wasn't me.
up to. I didn't say your name.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
You
That's
said,
a Craig.
you said
No.
George, Jeff.
You said
Chase.
Jeff, me, Chase, and
No.
Brandon.
No.
Yeah.
Check the tapes.
I know for a fact you said Chase.
Stop. Well, I didn't mean to. I probably looked at him and was like, I'm going to say Chase, but it's Craig. Let me say Craig, and then I still said Chase. I know I thought about it. Anyway, me, Jeff, Craig, and Brandon, we did a day trip up
Excuse
to Philly just to get cheesesteaks. And that was like a 4 or 5 hour
Yeah,
there. 4 or 5
I wanted
hours
to
back.
go, but I had to work.
Dude, that was fun.
I
I
mean,
should
I
have
was,
just quit my job.
I don't know
I
about
was,
that.
I
It
was
good,
actually
though.
thinking today of doing a day trip or a weekend trip to Big Cat and or John's at some point.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Plain hell.
You got your own car?
Yeah.
Don't have to inconvenience anyone. Just
Like I was
go.
thinking, I was just like, now's like not the good time to do it because like Corona.
Okay, that's fair. Not a great time right now. You
Yeah.
should probably hold off.
Yeah.
Also, I couldn't go with you if we did that.
Yeah, you could.
No, I mean right now, if we went and did it, because of where I work, if I go out of a 75-mile radius,
Oh,
I
then you
have
have
to
to
quarantine
yourself.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Working for the government, that's what they do.
Just quarantine yourself, then, idiot.
Yeah, just do it and then quarantine.
If I quarantine myself, it's pretty much the same, but then I can't help with the church stuff or go to Walmart.
We'll make Eric
or
do it.
whatever.
I can't do that.
You actually could. Literally, a monkey could do it. We taught Chase.
I'm not a monkey.
We taught Chase.
And I have nuckies.
We all have nutties.
So, what did we talk? What did I just say?
I'm just gonna say it now because I know.
Yeah, it triggers you.
I don't care.
He cares
He
so
I
much.
cares.
said
so
worse.
I'll get everybody in that Discord to start saying it. Nuckies.
Bumping Nuckies.
Yeah,
You're gonna tell them
bumping
what-
Nuckies.
we're bumping Nuckies?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
bumping
We're
Nuckies.
bumping Nuckies now, boys. Put it on a t-shirt.
Bumping Nuckies.
Bumping Nuckies. Let
He
me,
hates it so
just
much.
to be clear, quite frankly,
He's not having fun.
it is less offensive than.
He's not wrong.
Uh,
It's been a while since like it's been dropped.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of okay with that. It died though.
Yeah.
Like, it's.
I mean, memes are memes for a reason.
Yeah. You know, they have a lifespan. We've extended that. It's okay to like remember it every once in a while, but sometimes they should just die.
So, for since we're not doing Otakon this year, we're planning on doing like an anime, like just get together, watch some
Yeah.
anime and stuff like
Yeah,
that, like our own kind of Otakon
Yeah,
thing.
that's chill.
And
Watch
so,
it though.
but we were like, if we just do it any time, then it's like not
Not
really
special.
doing it, in replacement of Otakon. So we're just
Yeah.
gonna do it around the same time, which is
I would say
end of
the
July.
actual weekend of Otakon. We don't have to do that Friday because
Yeah.
we're going to be working.
It doesn't
but
have to be
Dude.
the exact days,
But I'm just
but
saying,
around
like,
the same time.
a get together like here or Jess or something.
Yeah.
Order some pizza. Watch some anime.
Yeah.
Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
Watch some anime. Watch some AMVs. Goof around.
Yeah, man.
Get Mexican for dinner.
Yeah.
Mexican for dinner.
Gotta be Mexican for
Yeah.
dinner.
Yep. And then that'll be our makeshift Otakon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Has he told you about his new game, the new games he's playing?
No, Jeff doesn't tell me anything.
He's getting into the Call of Duty campaigns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good
Big
for him.
mistake.
Good for him. I mean, he sits up there and does nothing all day.
I mean, yeah. Have fun with it.
That's what I used to do, but now he's doing it.
I'm telling you, man. Now is literally the perfect time for him to play Death Stranding, but yet he still hasn't got around to it.
He doesn't have it.
He has a PS4.
I know.
He sits there.
I can literally
Yeah.
give him the disc.
Yeah, we can loan him the disc if he doesn't want to pay for it.
But I mean, if you actually just sit down and play that game, if you go point A
Yeah.
to point B, you don't do a whole lot of side stuff.
It
whole
took
lot of
us a
backtracking.
while because
What,
we played
15,
it-
20 hours of
Yeah.
actual like straight gameplay.
It's
Yeah.
Jeff
But
has
Jeff is-
incredible OCD and wants to do everything.
Yeah, but see,
Okay,
at
so
the
it's gonna
same
be like
time,
a 60-hour.
it took us like a month. Oh, like over a month to beat the game because like we had to work and stuff like
Well,
that.
we
But
sat down and we really
Yeah.
played the game for like 2 or 3
But
days
still-
on
Yeah,
call,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the entire. That was awesome. I love that. I want
It
to go
was
back
fun.
to that time. No coronavirus. Just staying home, doing nothing because we could, not
Right.
because we had to.
They keep talking about the phase 1 reopening of stuff, and all I hear is them talking about some restaurants are going to open and have
the
like
phase
outdoor
2.
seating.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, I want to sit down at a restaurant.
Where
I know.
What restaurants here have outdoor seating?
It's not that they have
like
outdoor seating; they're going to allow outdoor
Panera,
seating.
Five Guys has.
But
outdoor
even
seating, but that's not a restaurant.
but even like restaurants are going to like allow them to just have seating in their parking lot.
Oh,
That's what they mean by outdoor seating. Like they're just going to set
Wow.
up like areas in the parking lot.
I mean, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would do it just to experience that.
That'd be fun.
Because there's like a lot of
Yeah.
things, like even like just on the
Think-
level of just our church.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that, quite frankly, we're stuck in this pandemic, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff's just kind of worth experiencing, just to say, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I went through the pandemic, and this is something we did.
Because it's
Yeah.
like
we had drive-in
Yeah.
services, or it was literally just Pastor me and Chase.
Yeah,
He was just
that's-
preaching to an empty crowd, and we were live streaming.
because
That's a cool
we did that
story
for
someday.
weeks. We did that for months, and so it was literally like just us and Mr. Ernie was out with the friends, just like listening to the pastor.
It's so interesting to like. I think it's gonna be really cool to look back on this someday and
Yeah.
be like, this is a thing that happened. And I mean, at the end of the day, 10, 20 years from now, I don't think people are really gonna care about the politics at all.
Somebody,
You know what I mean?
somebody put up a picture. It's like there's like those words that trigger old people from their generation.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like 60 years from now. Kids are gonna be like 6 feet apart, 6 feet apart.
Oh man.
You don't understand how disgraceful that is.
Oh okay. There am I.
Chase, are we ready to start? Come on, what's going on?
Oh,
You're the
right.
one who decided to get all political on us.
Hey, I
My
just want to
bad.
talk about the thing a little bit, you know?
My bad, nerd. Ha!
I just wanted to say Minneapolis was burning down because
It
a bunch of
was.
people were rioting.
It is. It is.
Riot Games
Yeah.
is a studio.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
I'll just throw Riot.
Yeah.
It'll be like a game.
Get it? Ha!
Forgot
Tee!
to watch. Well, it won't buzz this time.
Kill yourself.
Wow. Okay. So, this one we're just talking about anime. Is
We
that
could talk about
We
whatever
can
we
talk
want.
about whatever we want. There's no
whatever
rules.
we want.
We can talk about spaghetti if we want. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I love talking about pasta.
No.
We can talk about.
He said I could.
I said we could. I didn't say we're gonna.
I think it's a good topic. Let's start with spaghetti.
I'm just gonna go home.
No, you're not.
if the spaghetti starts coming.
If he starts talking about his stupid carbonara again, I'm gone.
I don't think it was stupid. I thought it was really good.
That's awesome.
He's being mean to me about my carbonara.
We'll bully
You
him
didn't even
back.
taste it.
Bully him back.
How am I gonna? I'd have to bully him about cooking, and I don't think he cooks.
Dude,
Idiot.
I don't cook,
What are you, 6?
pretty much.
What?
I
Never had the
even
touch of a woman?
I cook.
Chase does cook more than you.
I mean,
It's
I
funny
just-
because I would just expect Chase to cook less
I
than
don't
you,
e-
but he does more.
I don't even have a stove.
I just don't have to cook anything. Because whenever I show up home, my mom's like, I made something. I'm like, okay.
How are you gonna please a woman, Eric, if you can't cook?
She's gonna please me.
What are you going to provide?
Nothing. I'm a
A good
degenerate.
survey.
He's got this figured out.
Yeah.
A good house location.
Duh.
Man.
Honey, I can't seem to find our house. I'm on it.
I'm on the case.
Pulls out Prism.
Pulls out prism. Another prism.
just type it in. It's like you're playing D&D. It's like I'd like to pull out my prism.
Observation stored. No
Oh my gosh,
target.
you should write these spells down.
Oh.
Whenever.
Target
target.
loss.
No
No
target.
target. Target
Searching.
lock.
Searching.
Target lock.
Target
no
lost.
target.
Does it
Observation
auto
store.
find the prism, or do you have to like point it?
You have to point
You
it
have to
in the
point it.
general area.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it just kind of like
It's got like a radius that like it's like, hey, aim it at your head and stuff like that, and it'll be able to figure out
That's cool.
exactly where your nose is.
Unless you're in like the jungle.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Then you're just hoping the wind blows the leaves just the right time.
Because it just has to get it for like a second. Doesn't
It has to get it. You got to go target locked, and you have to hit it, and you got to really hope that half a second later didn't say target lost, and then searching.
If you do that, you hit it, you hear something, and it'll say target lost, and then like a second later, you'll hear the beep observation stored, and you're like, I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
because if like the leaf blows in the way at the exact like right as you're hitting the button or whatever to like store it and stuff like that, it'll be like target lost, and then it'll automatically, because you shot when you're not locked on target and stuff like that, it'll be like searching.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
it is.
Oh,
I've learned that pain this week.
Oh yeah, Eric's learning the data collector and stuff.
Yeah,
John's
John is like hyperbolic time chambering me. He lost Chase and he's been running the nursery. And I guess I picked it up fast enough, so he's trying to teach me everything really fast.
oh man, I love it. I love these stories. So much more interesting than my work.
There's,
You know, the work I do with like super expensive planes with the government.
Yeah.
So much more interesting to talk about surveying.
Well, it's more because there's so many like crazy things that can happen.
yeah.
It's true. It's true.
'Cause, yeah. Okay,
All right.
I did it last time, and then George did it last week. So,
Well, technically, I did last week, but I'll
Thank
do
you.
it again.
oh, you did it last
I
week?
think he did.
I'll do it again.
Then that means it's George.
All right. What number are we? Is it 30?
Hold up, I gotta scratch my neck.
Just remember, Chase is on the right.
Yes.
Get this away from me.
Get that corn out of my face.
Everybody's phones off.
That's one of my nuckies.
Yeah, those are your leg nuckies. Don't touch my toe nuckies. Trying to grab. Oh, guess what I bought today?
Porn.
No, again, Eric. I don't pay for porn. Get it free.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
I'm kidding. Oh, okay, yeah. So aside from that, and the drink, and the coffee, guess what I bought?
Porn.
No,
How about
free. You don't have to. Are you paying for that?
good editing software?
Stop. Huh?
Good editing software?
No, I don't edit. I don't have anything to edit, Chase.
When you could.
I just use Blender if I
Just
need
start
to.
now.
These nuts.
No, I would never pay for that.
Yes, episode 33 is the next one.
Wow. I guessed it right.
33, would it be?
I named the last episode the remake.
The remake of what?
I don't know, but
We talked
everything.
about Final Fantasy 7 so much.
We talked about Final Fantasy 7. We talked about Persona
Resident
5 The
Evil.
Royal. We talked about Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
the remake. We talked about Sakura Wars the reboot.
Oh yeah.
A bit of Animal Crossing.
A bit of Animal Crossing.
Alright.
Just a bunch
Sounds
of-
like we'll probably actually talk about anime. Let me open up my now real quick.
Here, I'll sync it for you.
I should probably do that too.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll do that too.
See, now that's how you clap.
Well, was mine not good enough?
Yeah.
Clap these cheeks.
Name one.
No homo.
Well, you know.
Bruh.
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 I'm not caught up anymore. I was caught up last time we recorded, but now I'm not.
Doubt.
Okay. Has a Pari Man got like axed for this season? Is that essentially what happened? They're just not. They don't have any more episodes because of Corona.
That's the Corona
We're not
one.
talking about Corona. We're going to talk about Corona at some point.
I mean,
if we're talking about this season.
If I bring it up in the context, hey, started watching a Pari Man. I'm enjoying it, but it's not coming out anymore because of Corona.
You know
Whenever it
what?
starts back up, watch it. I think that's fine.
If that's all you have to say about it, just don't even bring it up.
But like everything I have on here is like been stopped because of Corona.
Really?
No,
I think most of mine are still going.
I just haven't watched a whole lot of mine. Good for you.
No, I have to clap again.
Clap these cheeks.
Clap your cheeks. Dang.
Clap these nutties.
Are we gonna record any video games after this?
Don't look at me.
Well, I mean, I have to look at someone.
Yeah, but we don't have to know.
I'm not looking at
Chase doesn't
you.
look at me anymore.
I'm
his
not.
helper.
I'm not looking at. Yeah.
Chase only has eyes for you.
Chase only has eyes for Josh now.
Dude, that's gay.
Nah.
You're. How do you actively avoid yourself now that you're gay?
Josh doesn't like my jokes. I'd rather have Eric.
You know, I'm not even sure I've ever liked one of your jokes.
You can't be degenerates and talk like Goofy for 5 hours.
George.
Murder!
That's pretty much what all car rides devolve into. You're just talking like Goofy for 5 hours.
Where's my money, Damien?
Where's my stimulus check?
Damien, where's my choking head? Check inside your glove, Goofy. There it is. Mickey, where's my stimulus check? Oh, Goofy.
That's Sora, wielder of the Keyblade,
Oh,
wielder of light,
lover of Kyrie.
best friend of Goofy. That's me.
And Donald. Yuck.
Don't forget Mickey.
Oh.
Should we?
Oh.
No, the TV's fine.
Shh,
Don't
TV's
plug the.
No, people are gonna see the screen still on.
Don't unplug the fridges.
I think it's fine because I have Premiere again. It was a problem with Vegas.
Yeah, he's got Premiere again.
It was a problem with Vegas because Vegas doesn't have any audio noise bug software stuff into it.
I'm at the office.
Slap your
now.
cheeks.
Whoa! You didn't say no homo. You
That
can't slap
was-
your bro without saying no homo.
That was my thigh nucky.
Oh my!
It was just your thigh.
My thigh nucky.
Shut. What do you? What does that even mean?
My thigh nucky.
I don't care if you say nucky, but like what? My thigh nucky? It was just your thigh, you
Yeah.
literal tar.
It wasn't just his thigh; it was his
My
thigh.
thigh.
Oh, I hate you. Shut up!
Oh no! I got your forehead, Nucky.
Stop it!
It's okay. Chase got my thigh nucky.
You're disgusting. I want to learn how to ride a skateboard.
You can ask Josh.
He broke his ankle, Nucky.
Then he broke his foot nucky.
What is like a metacarpal?
Is it metatarsal or metacarpal? Metacarpal
I
is
think-
your hand.
Yeah, metacarpal's your hand.
Yeah,
Metatarsal
it's
is your
your
feet.
How,
Yeah, you're
how's he
right.
gonna come back to work? Is he just gonna hobble on one foot or something like
It's
that?
probably recovered enough.
Oh, okay.
It's just a
I guess
foot.
it wasn't
He'll
really
he'll probably
broken.
walk in a
It's
boot
probably
for a
just like
while.
a minor fracture. In
Guess it wasn't really broken.
Oh, knowing Josh might not have.
Oof.
Next time you see him, I swear, just be like, hey, do a kickflip.
Hey, Tony Hawk, come on, man.
Please. Oh, please do that. I don't even know that I want you to do it.
Will you do it?
just get like your route sheet. Just be like, Josh, come over here. Come over here, Josh. Do a kickflip.
I'll be like, Josh, come here. You see this route? Tony Hawk could do this route.
See this route? Tony Hawk can grind it.
I don't know him. I assume he would be able to take this joke, though, and he'd probably find it
I
kind
don't
of
know.
funny.
I don't know. I've worked with him for a while, and I don't know if I could joke about it. Probably.
It's weird.
He was telling me about his poops, so.
Oh, yeah, you're on a whole nother
Yeah,
level.
Maybe.
Every time I've talked to him, it's like, okay, here's what he likes, usually dislikes. How can I make this guy laugh? Still haven't figured it out.
I don't know. Made him laugh sometimes just talking about random crap. I don't know what sticks and what doesn't.
Yeah, it's he's a void.
It's like the Jim trying to make Stanley laugh. on The Office, pranking Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I had to find out what made him laugh. And really weird, it's meatballs. Ha! You've been meatballs! And you're like, and they go out to the car and they're like, what's the haul today? 68 meatballs each. Pleasure doing business with ya.
Give him the nuckies.
Do we do Xenoblade Chronicles for the channel?
Do you want to do it for the next 5 years?
No.
We're not doing it.
So we're still doing Pokemon. We should be able to finish Pokemon. We won't be able to finish it tonight. It's too late already.
Finish what?
Pokemon.
Where are we at?
We're
like
home
in Victory Road.
Victory Road, yeah.
Oh, we
But
are?
the last running around playing tag with the guy.
Playing tag, doing the actual league, the Eternatus.
Going back, doing the battle.
We got to get Zamazenta.
I assume we want to do the post-game stuff,
Post game
maybe?
Zamazenta because he's the box legendary.
Yeah.
Or is it? It's Zacian, yeah. Zacian,
I don't know. I haven't beat the
Sword.
game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'm still at the 3rd gen.
There's actually a little bit to do on endgame.
Man, shut up. At least I didn't put 245 hours into it.
There's
Idiot.
it's
Look at
kind
you being dumb, putting 245 hours into a
At least
Pokemon
I beat a game, bitch.
Sword and Shield has a pretty good endgame in my
Yeah.
Don't call me ever.
Catch these nuckies.
These nuckies got him.
Catch these nuckies.
It sounds too close to Nuggies.
Catch these nuckies. Catch this thigh nuckies.
I had some nuggies
Thigh
earlier.
From where?
Mickey D's.
Ew.
Ew.
Get Wendy's nuckies.
Yeah, Wendy's Nuckies.
They were too far away.
Or Chick-fil-A Nuckies.
Just get a spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
People got stabbed over that.
Same.
No.
Yeah?
Not the same. You haven't been stabbed.
The big cat, same reaction.
What?
Whenever he just says something random that he knows I've never done, I just go same. And he's like, wait, what? No, you don't.
You've
It's
never
not the
done.
same, Eric.
You've never done that.
It's not the same.
I know you haven't
Just
done
confirms
that.
Brendan and I are the same person.
Hell, he would
That's-
ban you for that.
No, stop it! Don't do it!
I got it on recording. You want me to crop
Oh,
that
no,
part
stop.
out?
Save that second.
Don't you send that. No.
It is gonna be like, why were you guys recording?
This confirms it. Big Cat and I are basically the same person. End quote.
Stop. I already told him you're
George.
spreading lies.
2020. Is this bannable?
Stop it.
He's trying to ascend to the same plane as you.
It's not true.
Alright, I'm ready to record.
Okay, whenever you're ready. You want me to sync it? You
Stop this.
want me to do the clap?
Clap these cheeks. These cheeks.
Nuckies, 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 nuckies.
Oh wait,
These
y'all never guess what I bought.
Hey!
I've been listening to Chris Raygun's podcast, Snark Tank,
Yeah.
and just these dumb tangents we've been going on. It makes me smile. Like they go off on the dumbest tangents. So like we've gone so far from the original topic. It's just how did we get here?
See, I feel like we
Guys.
should upload this part, like just like the unedited. We're starting the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we'll make. We'll
And
make another
we'll have all these
podcast.
random clapping.
We'll make. We'll make it.
Chase, let's just put up autistic clapping incoming.
we'll make it.
Headphone warning.
We'll make another podcast. It'll be a spin-off of this one, but it'll be better because it'll be called "We're Starting the Podcast."
Starting. That's literally it. Starting the podcast, and it's just everything before the podcast.
It'll be more popular than our show.
I mean, it's already 48 minutes.
It's a podcast.
It's its own podcast. We talked about politics. We talked about video game. We talked about anime already. We're done.
Dude,
Pack it up.
I was gonna say, there's a new Naked Jakey video
I don't
that
know.
came out today.
The guy who sits on the medicine ball.
Yeah. Perfect. It's what's it called? It's called High School Does It or High School Didn't Matter at All.
Oh yeah, true.
Same.
Yeah.
Sure,
Fair.
Super funny.
Dude.
You guys are gonna love it.
My YouTube recommendations recently have been garbage.
Mine have just turned into
Okay,
my sub box.
so for me, mine are mixed because my parents are using my YouTube because I signed in on their TV and my mom's using it, and she
Ooh.
doesn't
Big
want me to.
mistake.
She doesn't want me to unsign out because I have the YouTube Premium,
It's
so she doesn't
nice.
have to watch
That's
ads.
fair.
I just have that.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't care, but now I get recommended all these camper videos, and then my dad will get on it, and now it gets the Holderness family, and I hate the Holderness. Me and my brothers tell our dad, like every time we get together, we're like, Dad, we don't think the Holderness family's funny. We don't want to watch
So
the video.
if you-
We understand you love those videos.
If you go into your settings, you should be able to say don't recommend this channel anymore.
I've done it multiple times, but because he searches for it again.
Oh, and like, why does
Yeah.
it undo it though?
It's because he manually searches
Yeah.
for it. That's an override kind of.
Because the recommended thing is basically algorithm that's just like, well, this is what you watched before. Here are
Yes.
tags and
So
stuff
it just
similar to
removes it from the
Yeah,
list.
but if you
search it,
manually
it'll
search
put it back
it,
in the list.
It's
Yeah.
basically like,
And-
oh, you're interested in this, so we're going to put it back in.
Even if you
See, that's
search,
dumb. It should just be like a hey, don't show this to me. If I search it, then
It's-
I'm gonna watch it.
it's
but
still
like,
not
don't show it
perfect.
to me.
it's still not perfect either. It's about it'll still like if you get to, you know how like there's there's like YouTuber group kind of people
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
like
where it's
offline
like
TV.
Yeah, it's like
And
they're
Friends.
they're all
I watch that.
yeah, they all collab together and stuff like that. So it's like if you look for one, if you search for one, it's gonna recommend you the rest of them and so that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you look
So
at
if
Michael
you-
Reeves, you're getting.
So
you're getting
yeah,
your
if you
best
say
content, you're
if you
getting-
say don't recommend or
Oh,
like
that's
hide this, do not show me from Michael Reeves anymore and stuff like that. But then you search for a Lily Pichu video and stuff like that, it'll eventually override itself.
They also have like people and stuff that do this for them, and then if you like look into their tags, they have very similar tags
yes,
to each other.
yeah, the
Yeah.
tags.
Yeah.
Because they have like a set of like offline TV tags
Yes.
that they have.
Tags are one of the most tedious things about YouTube,
yeah.
which is why I don't do them. I just leave them blank. I'm like, here, this is the entertainment category.
Yeah.
That's about it. If it's a video game, I'll type in the video game title. That's about it. So it's like once one of you guys wants to, be the advertiser, and
You're not doing
the
it, George.
YouTube moderator, and so
You're not
I'm
doing it.
I'm never going to advertise like anything about this, or I'm never going to like help the channel like grow or anything in any way because it's too much work already doing the editing and stuff.
That's a good point.
And stuff. So it's like it's up to you and you guys if we ever want it and stuff.
You have to like run Twitter and
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
Keep in mind, it's not much that you have to do and stuff like that. It's like maybe every now and then, like just like drop like a link to it or something like that. But yeah, I guess it's Eric.
It's not me.
What are you talking about?
It's definitely you.
I don't have time.
Yeah, but I took my.
What about all that ride time?
At what time?
Ride time?
Yeah, do it while you're
That
driving.
time I'm going to sit in the car and look at Twitter.
And you're just like, let me recommend BakaTaka to random people.
Hell no.
Just get some Russian bots.
I can't afford that.
I can't afford.
I don't want them to steal my voter information either.
How much do bots cost?
I don't know. You can probably get a botnet for pretty cheap
Let
now.
me just buy some likes,
Let me buy 5,000 likes.
I don't understand that on Twitch. What is gifting subs? How do you gift subs?
You pay them money for somebody else to have the benefits of a sub.
Okay, so you just say, hey, I'm going to gift you 5 subs, and then it basically just says, hey, 5 people randomly just
You
get
can
to
give
sub
it
for
to a
free.
specific person, or it can do random people. Yeah. So like we
I
could,
finally understand it.
yeah. So like we could all be sitting in who's a random like Tim the Tatman's chat. Like all three of us are in there, and all of a sudden it's like George Geeline was gifted a sub from Eric Smith.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah,
Because it was just like, is this person just paying for subs, but like they're not getting anything from it, or is it like who gets the benefit? What's happening here?
Yeah,
They're paying for nothing.
If it's random, they
Finally.
basically like if I'm gifting 5 random subs,
Yeah.
like I give $25, give 5 random subs, and then 5 random people in the chat currently in that time.
Yeah,
we'll
just
we'll have the benefit of a sub for a month.
Hey, someone just gave you some. Okay, that's okay. That makes sense.
So, like, you just randomly gain subs?
Some people can just randomly gift subs out to people in there.
That's weird.
Like for
But see,
like
that's...
like streamers will do like bets or whatever. Like they're playing League or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, if I do this,
It's
you gotta
like-
give me 10 subs.
Yeah, or like every death is like 1 sub, or every death is 5 subs.
Okay.
And
But
then
that-
they end up
You
paying
gain money
or
from
getting,
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
So
so-
the streamer gets a half cut. Well, it depends on their contract with Twitch. Some people get different ones, but
Yeah,
it's generally half.
Because I'd assume on Twitch you'd have to set that up to be able to gain the money and so, to be able to gain the sub, because that money stuff like messes with your taxes.
Yeah.
And so that
Well, I
so
mean,
if
like,
people,
the
if
people
people
that-
are just randomly sending it to you without like setting
Yeah,
anything
I
up
mean,
like that.
you have a contract with Twitch,
Gotcha.
and you get a normal W-2 from Twitch
Gotcha.
if you're getting money from them, because technically they're an employer and you're an employee streaming under them
That's weird.
in a sense.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, we don't remember hiring you.
What disgusting clawing was displayed?
what?
That's what he responded with. What disgusting clawing was displayed? Yes.
Confirm. 7.
Man, some poor Ryan's, they're just gonna sit here and
Gallery Park over
talk
here.
about random crap.
I'm glad this is what the podcast has turned into. I'll just go through it and edit out all the parts where I swear it in.
Yeah, you shouldn't swear like that anymore, Chase.
Yeah.
Did you
Idiot.
swear?
Did I?
You just keep saying knuckies, and we're not really sure what that
I've only
was.
heard Chase swear once, and it was by complete accident.
Wait, what? What did he say? Was it the F word?
I think it was the S word because I was trying to say show.
I've heard him swear twice then.
Chase.
Was it the F word?
No.
Was it? Whoa! Wait, what? Why would you think that it was that, Chase? What happened?
No, you slipped up and said one time.
Chase, you can't say dick.
I don't know how it came about, but he said that, and then he dropped an S-bomb, fusing words in together, talking about Goofy somehow.
I think yeah, because I think in my head I was talking about a game, but I was about to say show, and then I was like, oh wait, that's not a show. So I was like trying to stop like halfway through.
I think the first time I ever actually cussed in front of people, I think it was the second time I played Twilight Imperium.
Yeah, you just
And-
dropped it on there.
And
What did you say?
was it you who gave Ben all of your resources at the end to stop me, or was it Ben who gave you all of his resources to stop me?
I don't remember.
No, I think it was you fooling Ben, because it was always you fueling Ben so he could get War Sons and fight me. And that was
something like
the second time I played, and it was the second time that happened.
What did
Which,
you
if
say?
you do the math, is 100% of the times I played. So I'm pretty sure what I said was, I'm so tired of this shit. You do it every time! And then I immediately, because at that point, I'm a good Christian boy.
Yeah, you're just like
I was like, and I think I followed it up. I think the next thing out of my mouth was, please don't tell my mom.
I think somebody was like, George, don't say that. I don't think I batted an eye.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I cared. Somebody said, George, don't say that. And I think Ben was just like, did he say that?
I was like, oh my gosh, I was genuinely upset. And I mean, like, I don't typically get too upset when we play board games.
Right.
And even then, I was upset in that moment, but I try to make sure that if I get like upset in a game, I don't want to be the kind of person that like shuts down and just like gives up and like ruins the game for everyone else, which we didn't do. I actually still came out pretty decent at the end. I don't think I
You
won.
were like second.
I think so.
Yeah.
Second is still a loser though.
Yeah.
Okay, and I
Second's
could have
still
won
not
if you
first
didn't
place.
if you didn't fund Ben. But hey, partially that's not really Eric's fault. Third edition was not very polished.
True.
The fact that it was allowed to happen was the game's fault.
True.
But oh man, I think that was the first time. Other than that, I mean, I don't cuss a lot. Like if people would not look at me and say, "Oh, yeah, he cusses." I think.
That's a swear, boy.
Like, I mean, I work with people. I know people who are like, they just cuss. Like, they don't care. They're just throwing them out there.
Johnson.
I know. You guys, I know you guys work with some too.
John has a potty mouth.
It's funny though.
I just think it's funny whenever I slip up, whenever Jeff's around and there's a bunch of people, Jeff will just be like, "It's my brother."
I don't know. To me,
He's like, "Yeah, that's my brother."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh."
yeah. To me, it's not a big issue. I don't really mind cussing. It doesn't really hurt me. I think there's certain connotations where you can do things, where you can say things, and I'm like, okay, that's whoa, let's calm down.
There's just that what is it? That one verse in the Bible or whatever, where it's like if a man can't control what he says or whatever, it's like, how can he control like his heart or something like that? And that's just what I always think about every time like even consider like in my head I'm just like, man, F.
Yeah. There's points where it does come down to that kind of like conscious decision of like, what kind of example am I setting?
Yeah.
What am I saying about myself? What example am I setting for the people who I would say identify with me? And being a Christian, that's an important thing to understand how your actions and your words and what you do affect how people look at not just you, but just Christians in general. And that's why I don't cuss around anyone other than people like this group, really.
It's like, in my opinion, or it's like, I've never did it before because I wasn't allowed to, so I've never wanted to. But sometimes I do consider it, and I'm just like, man, I could just start swearing now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone knows me as he doesn't swear.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that for people to look at you, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's an okay thing to. That doesn't necessarily make it good that I cuss.
It's not
a little bit.
It's not a big deal.
Not at work or something.
Right.
I always watch what I say unless I'm around people I'm absolutely comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I'm meeting new people or I don't know them, even if like say you introduce me to somebody and you know them really well, I still won't be like, I'll feel comfortable.
Oh yeah,
but I was like,
no, yeah,
yeah. I'd imagine like if you have you ever like introduced them to Jake yet or anything?
I mentioned.
Okay. Yeah.
I wouldn't swear around him.
Yeah.
I mean, even if George has known him since like he's been in the womb, I'd be like, I'm not gonna swear in front of him.
Yeah. And I wouldn't swear in front of them either because I'm kind of the only example they have for a Christian. I'll admit, I've not always done a great job. Cussing, I've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's a little hard. It's a little hard when because it was like you're like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, like bringing them to Nerf's like a good way to like bring them in, get them in involved and stuff like that. At the same time, everyone gets a lot of butt hurt when we play Nerf a lot of the times.
I like that a little bit.
I know I like that, but it's not a good like first impression kind of example.
Like, the people you have there too.
That it
like,
defines.
You have a bunch of gamers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
people are going to get butt hurt.
They're just like there was lag.
It
didn't hit me.
This is real life.
The group defines that kind of vibe, and when the group is competitive and doesn't like calling themselves out and stuff, that is bound to happen.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, you definitely know, like me, because it's like the game stops when you get out.
Yeah,
and so you're not even allowed. You can't really spectate, how you can in a game.
Yeah,
and stuff. So
yeah. I mean, for me personally, I don't know. Like I said, cussing, it's not a big deal to me. I think there are instances. I think all words at the end of the day, they are words. They only have the meaning we attribute to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the meaning we attribute to cuss words is heavier than meanings we give to other words. And I think there are certain instances where sometimes it is just the right practice to use a strong word in certain situations.
Yeah.
You know?
If you're using
depends
the
on
words
how
for
you use
intent
them.
to harm
Yeah.
and evil, then it's not
It's
a good word. to
Not
use.
okay.
If
Not
you're
okay.
I'm only using it if I'm absolutely comfortable around the people,
Mhm.
and it's for playful purposes,
Yeah,
for comedic purposes.
because we all know like you're just joking around and stuff like that. But if you were to actually like call George an effer or something like that,
Yeah,
stuff like and really like mean
if
it,
I'm
we'd
here
be
to
like, whoa.
throw nuckies and call him an effer, like I'm doing it for harmful intent.
Yeah.
It's not the right way.
We would all be like, we would like
No.
pause for a second and like
And that's,
wide eyes
and that's
be
what I'm
like,
saying. In
"Eric."
general, yes, don't do that. But
Yeah,
sometimes,
bad.
if you get to a point where it's like, no, this is the fact. This is what you are doing is making you this way, and I need to tell you that you are really making me upset. If I was put in that situation, and I was like, no, this is the right word to convey the amount of meaning I need to put behind it, that's what I'm going to say. But I'm not going to just...
But that's like an extreme case.
Yes.
Like needing to get that out.
Yes, and I have been in that one time before. One time. I think you guys know what instance it was getting to.
Back to content we can use.
Yes. We're gonna have to like skip a chunk out. Got super real there.
Yeah, I mean it's still gonna be a little real, but it's content we can use. But it's I guess times when I actually like swore around people that I never thought I'd swear around.
Ooh.
And I was swearing with like actual like intent of like I'm frustrated with the situation.
Oh.
Yeah. It was all involved with my dad.
Oh wow.
Obviously.
Wait, was this like
so
pre everything or like post everything?
it was like post like during going into post.
Okay.
Going into where we are now.
Okay.
So it's like how Jeff and I were raised. Like, so we went to Christian schools all our lives.
Yeah.
So it was like, obviously we're not going to swear because that's what we're taught.
Yeah.
But like when your mom and dad use words, it's just like, well, they're using it, right? So maybe we can use it, but it's just like they tell us it's also bad. They're like, don't use these words; they're bad.
But
so,
they use them anyway.
But they're using it. It's just like, well, they're our parents. We're going to listen to them. Our schools are also saying they're bad. So like we grew up never using it, but I only started using it because I'm me.
Yeah, you're allowed to do it. I mean,
I'm just not
you
allowed
can
to do it. It's
make
just
whatever choice you want,
I made my
and-
decision. This is where I ended up.
Yeah, I don't think
But
you
it
can
was
do that.
it was the phone call. There was one phone call I had with my dad. It was while things were starting to like roll. We're trying to figure everything's out, and I had one call with them, and I was just like, so how are we going to get through this situation? And that was the first time I ever swore in front of my dad, when the intent of like, this is stupid, I'm frustrated, how are we going to fix this? That was the first time I ever swore in front of my dad. And then he stopped for a second. He was just like, wait, what'd you say? I was like, how are we going to fix this situation?
It's just like...
Yeah, he stopped for a second. He was like, wait, you like... He had to process it for a second, because he was probably like, oh, dude, my boy's frustrated. my boy's frustrated.
He's like, now, son?
Yeah. And
now,
then,
son, I understand you're angry.
after that, I started swearing in front of my mom a little bit more, but that was more like just playful, fun things.
Yeah.
Like, since she always swore, she always had fun swearing.
I ain't swearing in front of my mom, I'll tell you that right now.
But she also was around a bunch of American military guys, and she was in the Korean military, so she has a potty mouth on herself. But anyways, the second time I swore in front of my dad with absolute frustration was an F-bomb. He called for fixing his van, to getting money for that. And I was like, I'll see what I can do, blah, blah, blah. And then he got with me again. He was like, so when's the money going to show up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I didn't tell you I'm getting the money. I'm going to see what I can do, see what I can work out, and I'll get back to you. But with how things are going now, I'm not. He got mad at me and all this and blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is retarded.
Fair.
And I was just like, this is retarded. This is stupid. I can't give you the money. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. He was just like, well, what am I just going to call my van guy now and not get his fixed? I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. He was like, well, I'm sorry too. Hung up the phone. I'm just like,
This is post or like during.
This is like going to the end. We're getting close to finish paying off the house. There's like a couple months left.
Gotcha.
And
So it was like right before the collapse.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, it's just like it was the end of. We're almost at the light at the end of the tunnel.
Gotcha.
Right. There's a few more months until the house is paid off. We would have nothing to do with that house, with Judy, all that. We'd be home free.
Right.
Yeah.
But he called with all that. It was just like, I can't pay for the house. I need stuff from my van. I was like, well, we can take care of the house. We can get this worked out. I'll see what I can do with the van. And then he already went in with the van to get it fixed. When I told him, I didn't guarantee him anything with the van.
Or do you
But
owe him anything?
But he moved on with the plan without the guarantee of the money.
Don't worry, my son's paying for this.
Hell no.
He brings it.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Make that out to Erik Smith.
But
I can forge a signature.
I don't.
those are like the only two instances where I could think of where I swore out of genuine frustration
Yikers.
towards my own father.
Yikers.
Yeah. So those are like the only times where I could think of like I'm swearing out of genuine frustration where I shouldn't be swearing, but I'm swearing here.
I don't think I could. So like Corey and Craig and even Chris to like some extent can like swear in front of them, in front of my parents.
I feel like you just don't have the temper for it.
I literally have no reason to though.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can make them laugh without swearing.
But I mean, I think it's
And
just
so
your.
They do it because it's like shocking. My mom will go like, Craig.
But I think
I love it when she does that too. I know exactly what you're talking
she's like,
about.
Because she'll get like she'll get the eyebrows, but she'll have a smile on her face.
Yes,
She'll be like,
yes.
I think it's also like your demeanor and how you carry yourself. It's just like it doesn't seem like he's a dude that's going to swear or has to swear. Or anything like that. I think that's the main thing. It's just like how you carry yourself.
Right. And it's because I've never had a reason to go the other way, and so that.
Right.
But for starters, I couldn't for 18 years.
Yeah.
And so and then by the time I could, it's just like, oh, I don't have a reason to, so might as well not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever sworn when talking with my parents. I think I very easily could have with my dad.
Oh yeah. I could definitely see that.
Toward the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on the podcast. Well, my dad. I don't know. For anyone who might be listening to this, my dad died about a year ago after battling cancer for about 2.5 years.
May he rest in peace.
Rip.
Yes.
Great man. Absolutely loved him. No ill will there. Great father. I'll just lay
Not
that
like
down
my
before
father,
we
who I
begin.
wish was dead.
Whoa!
Yeah, there's some toxicity in that family.
Yeah, a little bit.
But no. So growing up, I think there's only one time I can think of that my parents ever got frustrated enough to cuss at me, or not
Both
not
of them
necessarily
are just
at me,
him.
but like no. So my mom, I don't think I've ever heard her say a cuss word.
Okay.
She may have, maybe in like one situation where like I was making her really frustrated and she was like, I feel like I want to cuss. And you're making me feel like I want to say something. And she may have said, I want to call you this and I'm not going to.
That's like the opposite of my parents. My dad has literally like never even come like close to like being close to swearing and stuff like that. And my mom said it a couple times like
And let me be clear. It would have been totally deserved.
Right.
When I get annoying
True
hard.
facts.
I
True
go hard and I don't stop. I am so thick-skulled sometimes. I admit it, okay? I push buttons when I don't need to. So I don't think my mom's ever cussed at me except possibly in that kind of situation, maybe.
Right.
But there was one time my dad did. And that was that was
an eye-opener?
Scary. That was scary. So let me give you some context. Again, I deserved it. So I was homeschooled, 3rd grade, all the way through high school graduation. So pretty much all of my education, I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
And typically, pretty good student, got good grades. You know, I did my stuff, but the curriculum we used, the way it worked is you have your switched on schoolhouse application, and it takes care of all of the like assignments and stuff, and like doling it out, saying, hey, you have to do this on this day, kind of thing. Your schedule, and like your window into actually doing the lessons. So you take whatever curriculum you're using, English, Bible, history, math, and whatever, and you just say, hey, you're in 9th grade. Here's the 9th grade curriculum. Put it in the system, and it says, hey, on this day, do these assignments, quizzes, tests, projects, or whatever. Did most of it. But sometimes it's really easy to look at the projects and be like, oh, the project, so the assignments, quizzes, tests, it's like, hey, do this today, do this tomorrow. You just sign on.
Yeah.
Do that today, do it today, done. The projects show up like ahead of time, and you're like, okay, this is a project that's going to be due, it's going to take longer, have to write a paper, read something, write a paper, do an experiment, this, that, the other, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
But it gives you that lead up, and I'm pretty good with procrastinating. Yeah. So we get to the point where it's like, oh, I need to do this, I haven't done it, and then it gets to the point where it's like, well, I can't do it. And then it gets past the point, and I'm like, well, now I can't ask for help, because then they'll know that I didn't do it. And that builds up for a while.
Yeah.
And then they see it, and they're like, you haven't been doing this for how long? Now, be clear. Partially. Maybe they should have checked more. I'm just saying. Maybe. They should have looked just a little bit more to make sure I was doing all those things. Doesn't mean I should have done what I did. I learned my lesson. So I let stuff build up for like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 months. Like that, like the longest overdue project was about 2.5, 3 months overdue or whatever. And that's not acceptable. That is unacceptable. So I got grounded for that long. So I had to get caught up on all my work, and then once I was caught up, I think that's when the grounding started. So I was grounded for like 2.5, 3 months. No video games, no TV, like sitting next to my parents in church, no youth group. I was just...
I think I remember this.
It was, worst punishment ever. And like an idiot. It's not like they took the video games away. They were still there. So I had recently got Cave Story for my DS. I wasn't, so again, not just that, I wasn't even allowed on the internet, aside from doing like schoolwork related stuff. I wasn't allowed to get on. So I was sitting in my chair, leaning back, my like feet up on the desk, like an idiot. Didn't know how to like be ready to put everything away real fast.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I could have pulled this off if I was just a little bit smarter.
Right.
So I'm sitting there back, playing Cave Story on my DS. Got the internet open with like, I don't know, a Cave Story like wiki, like understanding the game. I was pretty young at this point, so not good at the games. I hear Dad coming down the stairs. So like I shut the DS and I put it in the thing like as fast as I can, but he like rounds the corner and he sees me like closing the window. My heart's racing. Okay. It's racing right now remembering it. I feel bad. Oh my gosh. So he's like, he sees the browser, and I'll admit I lied. He didn't see the DS. I believe if he saw me actually playing the game, I swear he would have snapped my DS in half. I know for a fact he would. This was like I said, this was the only time I think he's ever cussed at me. He dropped the F-bomb. And it was like, I think it was like kind of like he was yelling. It was like what the F don't you understand? Like I done messed up.
Right.
I goofed hard. It was, I don't even think he spanked me. And I mean, I would get spankings. And
Right.
They would teach you a lesson. I don't even think he...
I think he already gave you the spanking.
I was so scared.
Man spanked you with words.
Yeah, your ears got a spanking.
I don't know if I ever cried more. Seriously, that was I think, probably the worst punishment I've ever received from my father. That was the scariest thing that has single-handedly ever happened to me. I mean, Chase, you know,
Your
he
dad
can put fear into anyone.
Your dad was one of the most chill dudes.
Yes.
He always was willing. He was always like, let's crack a joke, you know, like let's
yeah.
like have fun.
Oh yeah.
But when he wanted like something done, and like when things were like just getting like out of hand and stuff like that, he could like snap his fingers.
He put his foot down. He'd
And so
whistle super loud.
And we never heard like, you know, him like, you know, get angry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could tell in his voice it was like super authoritative. He was just like, stop. We're having a conversation here. Stop running around us.
Yeah.
Go into the gym.
Yeah, it was like...
And it's like everyone stops talking. Heads kind of like, you know, like take like a
everybody's like a dog,
like
head
yeah,
down.
yeah, like just slightly down. Like they're not like facing the ground, but it's like you're not making eye contact with the
It's
dog.
like, oh, we better get in line.
Everyone quiet. No one's saying anything.
Yeah.
And we walk in. We like all like walk into the gym.
Mm-hmm. You don't...
And then we stop for a second. We like look up, take a deep breath, and then we play.
Yeah. It's... Oh man. My dad. Oh, it was so...
Yeah.
It was so good. I've never met someone else who had that kind of effect. Like, who could just be so stern with people and just... He knew how to do that. He was absolutely amazing at it.
He
But
had
man,
like...
that was the scariest moment of my life. I would never do that again. That was like the worst. Like, I swear, that was the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I mean, I guess aside from my dad dying of cancer, I guess that was pretty bad. But that's different.
yeah, that's
It's different kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I can only think of one moment where my dad had a moment like that with me, where it was just so loud and authoritative that I'm just like, I guess I messed up here.
Yeah.
So I think I was like 16 or 17 at the time, and I was at a school basketball game, and then I was going to go over to a friend's house to spend the night. I've never gone to this friend's house before, so I didn't know like where it was exactly. So he was like, so when you get there, you know, call me, just let me know you're doing all right, and all this, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So I called him before I left the game. So I was like, you know, I'm leaving. Don't know where it is exactly. Maybe I'll call you when I get there to let you know I'm doing all right. I get there. Turns out I don't have cell service. And I was like, oh.
This
well.
is fine.
So I was like, okay, I can just use a house phone. They're like, we don't have a house phone. So I was like, well, balls.
This is not good.
This is not good. So
Can I access your guys' email real quick?
So I'm sitting there sweating for a bit. I'm just like, well, I'm supposed to like let them know I'm all right,
Yeah.
but I can't. So it's like, okay, maybe this will just blow over. I've been to other friends' houses before. He's been fine with it. I don't always have to contact him.
Yeah.
As long as at some point I contact him.
Right. Yeah.
So the next day, I get in my homie's car. We're going to go grab lunch at a Buffalo Wild Wings before he took me back to my house. Well, I called my dad on the way there as soon as I got cell service, which was like 10 minutes away from the dude's house. And he lived like 20, 25 minutes away from me. We're going to go eat lunch, which was 5 minutes away.
West Virginia, man. You gotta get better cell service.
Yeah, it was. Well, he lived like in the middle of bum F nowhere. Anyways, I call him as soon as I get cell service, and he was like, "Why didn't you call me yesterday?" I was like, "Well, I didn't have cell service." And he was just like, "We have a house phone." I was like, "Well, no, they didn't." He was just like, "Horse." I was just like, "Whoa!"
They do that?
I was just like, and he was just like, "You need to figure out how to call me and do." I was just like, "Yo, my dude, I just told you." There was like no way I could. He was like, "You need to." I was worried all night if you weren't there and all this. And like, what happened to you? Just like this, like it was so weird because like he's never been concerned when I was like out somewhere before.
Okay.
Or like, he's never been this concerned. It was that instance, and there was one other instance that I'll get to in a moment. But he dropped all that on me, and he was yelling at me. I was like, "This is like." He's yelling at. I don't know why he's yelling at me, but he's being really authoritative about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess I made a mistake.
I was just like, I guess I messed up. I was like, I did everything I could. I was sweating about it, and I went on with it.
It's like, I guess we're both sweating.
It's just like I got in contact with him before I left the game.
Right.
It's like I'm leaving the game, getting with them. I don't know when I'll be back tomorrow. It's like, okay, have a good time. Call me if you can't get there. And I'm like, okay, cool. couldn't call him. And then the next day, it was just like explosion. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Guess I was wrong. But then the next time, I'm pretty sure I was 18 at the time, or a little over 18.
Mm.
But we went to a friend, me and Big Cat, went to a friend's house, one of our classmates, Brittany. We went to her house, a bunch of our other friends were there, some classmates, her sister and her sister's classmates were there. So it was, it was party, having fun, goofing around. Well, I guess he wanted me to contact him at some point. I think I left him a voicemail or text message him or something. And I guess I said I'll be home at some point, but we were watching a movie and I fell asleep during the movie and everybody else fell asleep during the movie. I didn't wake up till like 2 and everybody else didn't wake up till like 2. Apparently my dad like flipped out and freaked out, which was weird. Like I was over 18 at the time and I contacted at some point, but he got in touch with Big Cat's parents and was like trying to figure out where we were. I finally called my dad and he was just like, where the hell are you right now? I'm just like, I'm on my way home. It's just like, I thought you were going to be home earlier. I was like, I fell asleep watching a movie. He was like, can't believe you fell asleep at a girl's house doing all this. Don't know what you guys are all doing out there. I'm just like, I can't answer all this. I woke up not too long ago.
Yeah.
Nodding off like as you're talking to him.
Yeah, because I think we're there to play like paintball and stuff.
Okay.
And then,
yeah.
And
Some paintball.
and then we're playing like Rock Band and other things, and then watch the movie, and we all ended up passing out.
Yeah, get tired.
And then I got yelled at.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird to me because like I'm clearly an adult at this point. I'm over 18.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think just last year I hit the point where my mom is like, okay, you're allowed to leave without telling me where you're going.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm 22 when that happened. I'm 23 now.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll still drop like, hey, I'm gonna head out real quick.
Yeah, I
kinda
mean,
thing.
it's just
Yeah.
it's a
I'm
good
not
thing
gonna
to
give
do.
them like my agenda or like give them a like whatever, like a whole like list of what I'm doing. Just like, I'm gonna head out. I might be back later. I'll text you if something goes right.
I would tell my parents like, hey, what I'm doing and stuff like that. And my mom, like when I was like 19 and 20 and stuff like that, and she's like, you don't have to tell us like what you're doing today. You can just say I'm going out.
It goes from like asking permission to just, hey, I'm doing this,
right?
Kind of thing.
I'm really annoyed with myself because I fall into like that same position where I'm like, I wish my mom would just like not ask where I'm going. Like I just want the freedom. Like, I mean, I'll tell her when I'm going somewhere if I want to.
It's just like, oh, George is in here.
But if I'm just like, I'm just gonna go do a thing, and I don't know, it's just like I don't want to have to think, oh, I need to do this and also do this thing because they know that I'm going over here and they want me to pick something up. It's just like, no, I'm just going to this place. I'm going by myself.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. And they'll still ask, and I'll be like, I don't want to tell you where I'm going.
Yeah.
Not that I have like a problem with the knowing, but then at the same time, I'm super two-faced because like I'll turn around and like if Aaron or Kat are leaving or whatever, I'll go. I'll ask. I'll be like, where are they going? so it's like,
come on, tell
why
me.
am I like this?
Yeah.
I want the freedom, but at the same time, I'm like denying it to the other ones.
Yeah. I mean,
The other ones, my siblings.
The
other ones.
The others.
Yeah.
It's just like so ingrained into me. Just like, I guess let somebody know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I always had to ask permission to do something.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
then it went to like, I can do whatever I want now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like-
it's just one of those things that kind of stick with you because you're just like, I
Yeah.
mean, like this is what I always had to do.
Yeah.
And so, because at first you had to get permission to do it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then now you're just like, hey,
And now,
just so you know.
like, I still catch myself about to ask for like permission to leave to go do something. I'm just like, I'm 28. Like, I'm paying for my own car. I have bills to pay and other things. I'm still asking like permission to leave.
I think
See, that's
I don't think I ever did that once as I got a car. I think I it just turned into like, hey, I'm going to do this and stuff like that.
I feel like that's the unspoken rule right there. It's like once you have your own car, your own means of transportation, once it's not their car, it is your car,
But
then
it's
it's
just like,
I'm going where I want to go.
Right.
You
but
know?
it's just like, it was so ingrained in me that like I need to ask permission. Even when I have my own car, it's like I'm still catching myself about to ask for permission to leave.
that transition is so weird.
Yeah.
Because before you had to use someone someone else's or
Yeah.
stuff like that, or you had to get someone to pick you up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's like you had to. It was kind of like a scheduling kind of thing.
Yeah, 'cause-
and so it's like, hey, you're not using the car right now,
Yeah,
right?
because before, like when we lived out in West Virginia, when I was using the car, I was like, I'll literally be like, "Yo, can I go like to the mall? I need to go pick up something, or like, can I go get something to eat because I'm kind of hungry?"
right.
And then I would go like talk to them when I'm about to leave, and I'd catch myself when I finally got my own car. I'd be like, it went from "Can I use the car?" to like, "I'm just gonna go get food. Do you want anything?"
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting to kind of look at this stuff and see how we acted and how our parents acted and like the things they did, and just kind of think about how am I going to be as a parent? Because my goal someday is to have a family. I want to have a family.
Yeah.
That's an end goal right there. That's like,
I don't know. I hate kids.
it's not for everyone.
I hate kids.
It's not for everyone, and I'm sure things can change.
I had this conversation with my grandmother one time, and she was like, "Oh, you ever thinking about getting a girl, having a family, having kids, or something like that?" Because she really wanted to see like great grandkids.
Yeah,
Right.
I know my
And-
mom wants grandkids
and
someday.
I told my grandmother straight up, was like, "I hate children. I don't want children." And she was like, "Are you sure? Maybe if you see, your own child one day, maybe that might change your mind." I was like, "No, Grandma, I hate kids."
Yeah, it's certainly not for everyone, but I do think it's one of those things that can change. It's at some point you might, if you meet someone, you're like, "Oh, I'm settling down. Maybe I do want kids."
Yeah,
It's something that can change, but it's certainly not for everyone.
so
I don't
it's
think
a
there's
really
anything
far
wrong
out there
with
like
having kids.
comparison.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I never ate lettuce or anything as a kid.
Yep.
But I mean, I'll munch down salads any day now. Put lettuce on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like things can change.
Things change.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
like, I don't like kids.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it might
always,
change one day, but
I'm always thinking of it's like, do I let them play games while they're young?
Like those are all the
Yeah.
choices. Like, what am
It's
I
like-
going to decide?
It's like, because it's like, okay, so I was like 5 years old, and my dad gave me like learning PC games, and
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
Lego,
yeah.
and also like Lego games and like
yeah.
racing games.
Like, when
and
am
stuff
when am I going to give a kid a cell phone?
right?
I didn't get one till I was basically in college.
Right.
And stuff, and
Which, like-
what's gonna
But again,
happen
I
once
was
they get
homeschooled.
one.
Yeah.
You know
Which,
what's
like-
gonna happen once they get one.
Yeah, which like, do you give them like books? Like, are they gonna like be reading all the time? Like,
Right.
what like
It's like
what toys do they want?
I don't know.
Here's another thing. It's like how much we like anime. It's like
How do I
Do-
teach them that?
do I like put a Ghibli film on for them?
Oh, dear
something
Lord,
like
I'm not
that?
exposing my kid to anime. Look what it
Yeah,
does.
that,
Look at me.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
that-
us.
I mean, I'd put on a Ghibli film.
Yeah.
it's a kids movie.
It's a slippery slope, too.
yeah, but see that's
That's a
the
slope that they can decide.
but see that's the thing. That's the thing. It's
Yes, when they're 18.
like that's another thing. It's like, are you just gonna stop watching anime when you get a kid?
No, screw that. I get
So
a
they're
TV
gonna
in my
catch-
room and I
they're-
lock them in there.
They're gonna eventually catch you watching anime
I
and
think
be
this
like,
all depends on
It's
your
so-
significant other.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Don't make any decision on your own.
yeah.
Because I can only imagine what kind of broad any of us land.
Oh my. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel
I'm curious about what kind of life Chase will have.
he's over here blowing
fart
fart noises in his elbow. What do you? I don't know. I feel like why not leave the dating stuff? Let's just talk about this, okay? Because we're all in the same boat at the moment. I mean, you guys are both ahead of me. Let's see. 23, 28, 25? 26. 26. We're all basically slightly older versions of each other at this point.
I guess.
Except you're Asian, and we're both extremely, extremely white.
Pasty white.
To be fair, you're also extremely white, just in a
That's
Asian
white.
man's body.
Yeah,
Tan.
remember when those
Well, you get two colors, I just get white and red.
remember when those
I guess that's a
squatters
color.
called you a white boy?
The what?
The squatters in the basement entrance?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, there's two white boys in your yard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
You're
mean,
like, I made it.
so to be, I guess I don't look that Asian.
You really
No,
don't.
I think they were just waking up.
I mean, Matt didn't know I was Asian. Josh
No.
didn't know I was Asian.
Matt needs glasses.
True. True.
I mean, I wouldn't really even pick you as
Yeah.
Asian. I know your mother and I know your brother.
Right.
But I also
See,
have seen pictures of your father.
Well, like Asian people obviously can pick me out.
I
yeah.
can't unsee it. Is I guess.
I mean, at
what
this
it
point,
is now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now that you know,
Yeah.
you can't unsee it. But I mean, if I was just an average, everyday dude coming up to you,
Yeah. It's like maybe I wouldn't notice,
average dude.
or I wouldn't assume. Is
Yeah.
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I try to make it as obvious as possible with my straight ass black hair.
You're like
My
Ohio
glasses.
gozaimasu. You walk up and you're like Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu. Ore wa Eriku desu.
Oh,
Ganbare.
Amerikajin. Gaijin.
Yeah,
Gaijin.
F that. Nah, but I mean, I guess I don't look fully Asian, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, once you know I'm Asian, you're like, yeah, I do is pretty Asian.
He's
Yeah.
pretty Asian.
Yeah,
What
I
a
mean,
weeb.
me and John are making the Asian Power Hour now.
Wait, is John Asian?
He's
John's
Filipino.
Filipino.
Yeah,
You knew this. I told you this.
No, I don't think you have.
he's Filipino.
John, like the great John who trained you.
Yeah,
And I did not. I just assumed he was a really old white guy.
Thick Filipino accent.
yeah. Thick
I've
Filipino
never
accent.
talked to him.
Yeah.
You'll just randomly take phone
I
calls.
do
but I like him.
I do impersonations of him. Like he's like Mr. Tex. We need to go measure this.
Yeah, that just sounds like he's out of the '60s.
It's just like
Like
the
Citizen
way he says
Kane.
numbers like 42. Like he
Okay.
enunciates a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the
No
way
idea.
because it's the way he enunciates is because they speak Tagalog.
Yes.
Have you ever heard him order at McDonald's?
No.
He says mock chicken.
Amazing.
I'd like one mock chicken, please.
I like.
You'll hear it.
I like it.
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can hear
gosh.
it. But yeah, John's Filipino with Asian Power Hour. But
Like I said,
what were you talking about?
we were talking about dating.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about
okay.
dating because we're all in similar.
because we're
Oh,
slightly,
right.
we're slightly older than each other. Yeah.
And then we're
So-
just like, but it's just like we're all basically white, right?
yeah. But yeah, I'm slightly Asian the whole day. Carry
Yeah.
on.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm at the point where I'm like, do I need to be in a relationship now? No, not necessarily. And I don't think there's anything. A lot of people, especially older generations, I feel like they push to have people. They push to have the younger generations in relationships and popping out kids, I guess, earlier. And I think
Yes.
that's just a generational thing. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of a different worldview from people who grew up in a different area.
Yeah.
And I think that's totally
Boomers.
fine. Boomer. Okay.
Boomers.
Boomer. But it's like like I said, my goal someday is to have a family. I want that super typical me, a wife, 2, maybe 3 kids if I like the first 2, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Keep it simple.
But I like
that
the
old
first.
American dream of the white picket fence, trophy wife, couple kids.
Yeah, you know, I'm not asking for much.
Right.
A couple nice cars,
Yeah.
1 project car.
Yeah.
I keep my Camaro forever. We're good, you know?
Sounds like your wife's gonna get nothing, other than just plopping out kids.
Oh, no. Whoa, don't put words in my mouth. This is a woman I'm gonna love.
You're going to
Stop it! You're
going
making
to
me
be-
sound awful.
Stop
You're
it!
going to be a terrible husband.
That's not true.
You're just using her.
Stop.
Just spread
This is
your
my forum.
genes.
This is my forum. You're ruining my appeal.
Wait, here we go.
So
Give us your dating profile.
I am. Oh no! I'm not letting you control my dating profile. No. It's like it's one of those things. Like, am I even ready? Like, I look at it, and it's like, yes, this is something I want. And to actually pursue it, I actually have to talk to people. I have to go outside of our friend group because look, our friend group, it's all dudes. I'm not gonna marry a dude.
It's for our church, our generation is
a dry well.
Yeah, it's literally guys.
It's a dry well. Okay, so I'm putting myself out there. I'm talking to other people. Okay, I'm meeting new people. Man,
It's tough.
Southern Maryland is a dry well. I'm telling you. And I'm not one to try to I don't want to settle. You know? I guess they put you in those two categories. There's one who's settling and there's one who's reaching. I think that's from How I Met Your Mother, you know? I believe that's what it's just
from Kaguya some.
It is. That's the new thing. It's from Kaguya.
All right.
Someone has to say it first and they lose.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in any of that. But it's I want to find someone that I like. You know, everyone has their make or break thing. I would never date someone who smokes.
Same.
I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
I don't really hang out with people who smoke.
Exactly. But
not even at work where all the smokers are.
But you have things that you have aspects and attributes you like in someone, and that you wouldn't want in a partner. You know, so you gotta find someone who meshes with you, and you gotta build that relationship and stuff. And it's I would like to do that. Currently, right now, I would like to meet someone who I could have and share that kind of relationship with. And then I think about it, I'm if this is someone that I would eventually marry, the goal is to be able to provide. And that, whatever gender role stuff you want to get into, I feel even if it's just one of you working, if it's both of you working, if it's whatever your situation is, at the end of the day, I feel the traditional sense, the man is supposed to be able to provide for his family. Okay?
Yeah.
So whether the wife works or the wife doesn't work, however that's set up, you should be able to provide. You should have, your own house, your car, whatever. What are you looking at?
December 25th is on a Friday this year.
Oh,
Woo! Christmas episode. I don't know why you're
Yeah.
checking this now, but whatever. But it's am I in a position where I should even start looking? Or is it I'm going to get myself into some situation that I'm not even ready to be in? You know?
I think it's more of...
It's so weird to know, what are the right choices?
Well, from what
Why aren't there just good endings and bad endings and I can look up and walk through?
From everything the movies tell me, there is no right answer.
I know.
I think it's more just... You'll find that person eventually. It'll be more of an ebb and flow thing. It'll come into it.
But see, that's the other thing. Does that really just happen? Do you just kind of go along and it's just...
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
Do two people really just drift along into a relationship? I mean, I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. The way I think about dating is dating is supposed to be your time to get to know someone. There's kind of I guess I would break it up almost into two steps of dating. There's dating to you are in a relationship with this person, and the next step is marrying, you know?
Yeah.
But before that, you're dating someone to find out, do you really want a relationship with this person?
Yeah.
That's your first couple dates. It's
yeah.
Do I want to be in a long-term relationship with this person?
Yeah.
Then there's a long-term relationship, and then there's marriage. So there's those three steps.
Yeah.
And I feel it's totally fine to put myself in that first phase.
If you're
find someone, go on a couple dates, hang out, and then see where it goes from there. And if that works out, awesome, great. That's what we're hoping for.
I mean, what I meant is if you're just casting lines to be casting lines to get as many as possible to see what kind of sticks.
Yeah.
That's settling.
Yes.
Because if you're just
think
going
that's
at
bad.
so many as possible just to find something, that's settling.
And I don't want to put myself in that position. But then I run into hey,
Slapping neckies.
where do I even go around here? Southern
bar
Maryland.
hopping.
Yeah, go to the
Yeah,
bars.
it's the bar hopping.
But I don't drink. Not really.
I'll drink for you. I'll be the wingman. There you
I
go.
drink for you.
Yeah, I drink for you.
I drink. I take shower.
I took shower.
I took shower. That's another inside joke that they're just hearing now and they don't understand. Doesn't matter. It'll come up
We'll
later.
point it from last week.
But yeah, it's just how do you meet people?
You go bar hopping.
What do you do? I don't want to go bar hopping.
Go to the smokers lounge.
I just said that's a deal breaker. Let me just go to the neighborhood hookah.
Go to the
We'll just go to the local den.
Why don't you just check out the local Walmart or something like that?
Whoa,
No.
Walmart creatures.
It'll be just either
Memes.
me. You have to either, as much as I don't want to say it,
Mhm.
like Tinder profiles, dating profiles, either picking up random hobbies, like start going bowling a lot,
Amen.
hanging out
Gotta
at
go
different
bowling more.
places. I mean, I'd go bowling more.
Dude, I
Bowling's
want to
fun.
go bowling more.
They're like, so what interests you in bowling?
I'm ready to buy my own bowling ball, man. I'm set up.
Mm.
You throwback to like
Your
an
mom's
hour
really
and a
good at
half
bowling.
ago.
Yeah.
Y'all never guessed what I bought today.
A
Don't care.
bowling ball!
No.
Well, then we're
You
moving on.
didn't. No, I'm telling you anyway. I'm getting a new bed. I'm done with the bunk bed.
Ah!
I'm done feeling those stupid metal bars through my mattress. I'm getting a decent bed,
Speaking
a
of
decent
bed.
platform frame. I'm so happy. I'm going to be able to sleep comfortably. I'm not going to get scoliosis again. Yeah.
We're on our way
Stupid
back
scoliosis.
from our last job, and on the back of somebody's truck
Yeah.
was this really thick mattress. It was a thick mattress. Like, the mattress is so thick, you don't even need a box spring for it. The mattress is like 2 feet thick. Like, this was pure, unadulterated mattress.
Impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. It was kind of dirty.
That's
It's
amazing.
It's on the back.
Wait,
really
just to be
dirty.
clear, not like a mattress and a box spring. Just a
A
mattress.
mattress.
Holy crap.
It was a thick
That's
mattress.
amazing.
Yeah. That's what I saw today.
It wasn't like flapping around, right?
No,
Like,
they
right
had
over
it
there.
strapped
Oh, I
down.
bet.
But it was like a really dirty pickup.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to
It's
see
like
that.
those the really like random gross like black pickups you'll see. They
Yep.
just have like a rust patch like gone out of it.
Oh,
It's got like
gotcha.
chips gone missing out of it.
Have you heard John talk about his dump trucks?
No.
You haven't heard that yet?
No. John and I were talking about trucks the other day
Yeah.
because we were talking about cars we wanted and cars we could afford.
Yeah, he wants
The
a
cars-
dump truck.
The-
Oh, you told me about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dump
yeah.
truck.
The cars I want are never the cars I can afford. Isn't it funny
Yeah.
how that works out?
We saw we were coming out of Potomac today.
Yeah.
Of course, Potomac. And we saw a Porsche 911.
Ooh, those are
Yeah,
nice.
like the brand new model, 2020 models.
Even
Yeah,
better.
we saw it flying down. John was like, "I want that car. How much is that?" I looked it up. I was like, "John, I don't think you can afford this." He's like, "How much is this?" I was like, "MSRP right now on an average price, $97,400." He was like, "Oh," I was like, "You just have to go ask Andy for a raise and maybe a couple bonuses you could probably get." He was like, "No, I'm gonna have to be part owner to get that."
Because you brought this up, there's a guy years ago. I was really interested in origami, and I still love origami. I think it's a really cool art, and just like the things people can do. There's
My
this
people
guy.
don't.
This guy named Juan Park.
Yeah.
He's like a professional. He does dollar bill origami, and he makes some of the
Oh, I've
coolest
seen
things
some of those,
ever.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen his stuff on the internet. He actually lives in a converted garbage truck,
Ew.
and it is one of the coolest things. I will find some pictures. So I don't know why the scaling on these pictures is so awful. There we go. So that's his garbage truck,
Yeah.
and like this is like the inside. It's got like a bike on the back. It's got all like great like custom made furniture. It's got a loft. It's got like a wraparound sofa around the entire like inside. Like if you
Yeah.
watch tiny homes on HGTV, it's like a medium size tiny home.
That's the kind of stuff my mom watches all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Good thing I
So,
saved that.
You may think it's cool, but I lived in a trailer for 2 months.
Oh no.
I hated it.
I think it would be cool as
we
a
lived in a-
second, like a backup thing. Like if I wanted to travel cross country,
I would do it
Cool.
for like a couple weeks at a
I
time.
would not want to live
in
in one.
We lived in one of those like plantable kind of trailers and stuff like that for like first 3 years I was born.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we lived first. We went to Independent.
Was it like one of the like a bigger style, like the 1,100, 1,200 square foot one?
It was the one of the kinds where it's like there's a trailer park and stuff like that, and they actually like build the frame like on the base and stuff like that. So yeah, we lived in one of those for like 3 years.
Interesting. I did not know that. And that was here in Maryland too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because okay, Have you ever seen like the houses people will build out of shipping crates?
Yeah.
Oh, the containers.
Like like
From
big,
what I heard,
big shipping
that's not like as it's not as efficient as it seems.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it's super efficient. I think it also highly depends on where you are.
Well, I think efficient's not the right word. I think practical, as they want you to think it is.
Yeah,
It's not as
It's
practical.
more like an emergency store. It's like the storage like storage units, like U-Haul storage units and stuff like that.
Right.
Like you can use those as emergency living areas.
Do
Right.
you actually?
Yeah, so like if you're in like an abusive relationship or something, if you go to a U-Haul like storage place or like a storage unit place and you hint at them or tell them, hey, I need a place to stay and I'm in an abusive relationship, they will let you stay in a storage unit.
I did not know this, but that is amazing information that
Yeah.
needs to be out there.
It's like they'll either let you stay there free or it's like it's super cheap rent in comparison because they're really low cost units and they are livable to be in.
Do you know? I don't know how much you know about this. Is it something that U-Haul does specifically, or is it like some organization that like
I think it's more
works
just
with U-Haul kind of thing?
It's not U-Haul specifically. It's more just like an understood like rule of like storage unit things.
Okay.
Like you can go to a storage unit owner and they will understand kind of
That
thing.
is super cool.
So like you can
Ah.
use storage units as like a quick makeshift home
okay.
to get away from like abusive relationships or like you need a place to stay or something
It's
like that.
like one of those like hidden rules kind
Yeah.
of things in life.
But it's not
I
like
really like
stay
learning about
here
stuff
for
like that.
years.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, you can stay here, like you're going to pay rent or
Oh.
something. It's more like a quick live situation for like a few days to get
Right.
get away from
That's-
something.
That's actually that's really cool.
Mhm.
Where do you park your car?
That kind of that kind of reminds me of something I saw on Reddit. Not super similar, but it was like the little meaning behind things that you like might notice, and you're like, why is it like that? Like homeless people, especially back during like the Great Depression, they would put symbols and stuff on like making symbols and stuff out of stones or
Yeah.
rocks, or like put like a little mark on someone's fence or something that would tell other homeless people. It was like a code. It would say, hey, these people are really nice. They might give you some food. Don't avoid these people. They'll probably like get you arrested, stuff like that. Railroad this way. Here's shelter
Right.
this way, kind of stuff like that.
The thieves can't.
Yes, in a way. The one I saw on Reddit though was a r/cool guides, and it was just a short little one, 4 pictures, and it was talking about if you ever go to a grave and you see coins like change on top of the grave. It was telling you what the meanings of different coins are. It was a military thing. It's like a penny means you came to the grave. A nickel meant you went through boot camp with the person. A dime meant you served with the person, and I think a quarter meant you were there when the person died. Just the little meanings behind stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Not that it applies to me because I'm not in the military or anything,
Yeah.
but to see that there's a camaraderie that spans this entire group of people who there's no way that every single person there knows every other person, but they all the path lines, they cross at different points and they're all part of that same body. It's really cool to kind of have a little glimpse, even if it's just a very small thing, just a glimpse into how that works and that whole picture of that. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just what the understood, like, I wouldn't say understood, but like little known things that are out there, like, being able to use a storage unit as a quick home or things like that is just interesting. Like, because there's tons of them out there. Like, there's stuff for everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, even as basic things like the secret menus to restaurants and stuff like that.
Yes.
Just things like that. There's like there's stuff hidden everywhere.
Literally IRL Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And there's so many, and people just don't know them, or like they have bits and pieces, and you can just kind of expand your knowledge and just become like a god of Easter eggs.
Or just have like quick tips for people, or just things to help them get through situations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of stuff out there. I wish I knew more of it because there's a lot of like life hacks and stuff
Yes.
hidden out there. But
You gotta be careful with life hacks, though, man. There's some junk out there. Like, why are you putting what are you doing to that egg? And why are you putting it in soda? And I don't understand. What do you want to do with this soft egg that has no shell now?
Yeah, there's a lot of like the subreddit DIY.
Oh,
It's
I
just
love
like
DIY.
a lot of it's just like actually like why are you doing this?
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Man, you're talking about eggs, and it's making me think of that one video. Do you remember that one video where the guy drinks like 2 pictures of like eggs?
Oh yes.
Why? But
What?
why?
But you remember what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
know
just
what you're
like-
talking
I
about.
was just
But
like,
why?
why is this in my head right now? Because I remember Craig showing me this, and I'm just like, why am I watching this?
It's
Why is he doing
absolute-
this?
Yeah, it's like, why is he doing this?
Don't bring it up. Nobody wants to see this.
I don't want to
Oh,
watch.
I'm not bringing it up. I was
Okay.
just opening my laptop back up. I'm not putting this video.
I saw you getting on your. I was like,
Let me
oh, no.
search it, real
No,
quick.
it
No.
decided to lock
No,
out. So
brother,
we're good.
no. There's
Chase, you've ruined everything.
You were the one who brought up eggs. You know I don't like
yeah,
eggs.
you kind of did bring up eggs.
Okay, but I didn't talk about that. That's on him.
Well,
You're the one who brought up the storage units. This is your fault.
My bad for trying to help people in abusive relationships and stuff like that get them home real quick.
Exactly. It is your bad.
Yeah, my bad.
I've been helping Miss Evelyn move and using a lot, like she's using the storage units and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I guess like whenever I go and help and stuff like that, she kind of like hints like, hey, can you take charge and stuff like that, like in the coordination of it, because it's Hannah's boyfriend, me, Tremaine's there sometimes, and, Tremaine's there sometimes, Brittany's there, probably watching the kids or something, and sometimes we'll get like a random person like also extra and stuff, and so it's just like, okay, these people don't know how to stack stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's honestly one of those things, and it really just speaks to your character. You are honestly one of the most reliable people I know.
Which is weird thinking about.
Right? Like, I am not like a go-to person for everything, but I think most people would say I'm a reliable person. If they ask me to do something, like...
Tech-wise.
Yeah. Like,
Tech-wise, they're like, George will have an answer.
I might be
At the
able to do
least.
something. And I think everyone kind of has those things. And I think it's a real shame that there are people out there who unfortunately, you know, their character or just their skill set, some people don't have anyone that looks to them that way. Whether it's the people they are around or whether it's, you know, their fault, which is a case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like, it's really interesting to just think about, oh, if I was in this situation, I have friends who I could easily turn to, and I know that they would be there for me, and they would have more expertise to help with this thing or that thing. Like, I know I could turn to Kyle for almost anything. Kyle is extremely responsible. I know I could turn to you for almost anything. I could probably turn to Erik for a lot of things.
I've got a very broad set of skills.
I have a very broad set of skills.
I'm not very specialized. I've got a very broad set of skills.
Erik, what's a good light novel?
That's not my specialty. You have to go to Chuck for light novels.
Oh,
Yeah, I do. And like, it's there's things that each person in your life is better at than you or worse at than you, and you know who to turn to instinctively. For example, not to go back to my dad dying, but when the memorial service, when we were doing that, my mom had a video that she really wanted to show. It was my dad giving his testimony in Costa Rica, and the video that we had, it had like super bad wind noise, extremely hard to understand, and she really wanted to play it because it was probably one of the only times that my dad gave his testimony that was recorded, and if there were others, it was probably the best one where he really spelled it out, and it hit really well because missions was something that he was very passionate about. He was always very active in that ministry at our church, so it just had a lot of meaning behind it. And I have no idea how to do any kind of sound stuff or work with videos, but Chase does. Chase is really, you are the best person that I know of that I could go to for something like that. And I did, and I asked. I was like, hey, Chase, what can you do with this video? Make it sound better for people. And you stepped up, you helped, you got that wind noise down. It was, I imagine that was one of the hardest things to do because it was constant. It was so bad. It was like whipping back and forth, and you did it, and the video worked perfectly, and it went extremely well. And I was so thankful to have you as a friend who could do that, you know? And there's things that people can do that I can't, and I am very, very glad to have friends who have those skills, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that I am in that position when I know some people aren't so lucky.
Yeah, because it's like whenever I think of like it's like I get like a new idea for like a video and stuff like that, I always think of like, okay, how am I gonna record the sound for this? And it's like, well, let me see what George thinks is like the best idea to get. What's the best equipment to get for this and stuff like that. And like I'm like, can you show me how to use your phone and like hook this microphone up?
Yeah, and I'm in no way the best at it, but it's something that I've worked with. My dad did the AV at church. I've done the AV at church, and you're even helping with it now, and it's all working. Yeah. And it's just making us better. To rely on each other is only making us better at those things. Because I know things, even though I'm not the one editing these videos or that video or any of it, I know more about video editing now just because you've shown me things and you've worked on it. And before you started helping with the AV system, you didn't really know how to do
I
any
didn't
of that.
really know anything. I'm like,
now,
I know what AV cables are.
Exactly. And now you could literally walk into church, turn everything on, hand out the mics. You would do it all perfectly. Probably even better than I can, because I still don't really know how to do the video side of it all that well now that we're streaming things.
Okay, yeah, but I'm the only one who's had practice with it. So.
You really are. And it's just, I love, like I said, I love that we're in a position where we can be this way.
Sounds like our job as surveyors.
It all full circle.
You get a new helper, they have no idea what they're doing, they start asking questions, figuring it out, and next thing you know, they're the one that's a party chief teaching some other new helper.
Exactly.
Seriously, how long have you been working with Andy now, Chase?
So it's the May, so yeah, it's been like 2 years.
It's been like 2 years, and you started as party chief, what is it, like 4 or 5 months ago?
Like 2 months ago.
It was like the end of January.
It was when I joined. It was end of February.
Was it the end of February?
Yeah, because
that's right. Because
your first time as a party chief was right after I joined.
Okay, so you've been a party chief for about 3 months now.
So
on and off.
So yeah, it's officially I've been a party chief and stuff like that. But John would have me like for what it is for all this year and stuff like that. He would basically take half the jobs and say you're responsible for these ones.
That's cool. That's one of the reasons why, like I said, don't know John, never met him, but I like him.
Joh's a paragon.
That is a great paragon.
John's a paragon.
What?
That's all I can describe it. Just like he's just some higher being there. He's just a paragon.
It's because it's like he could speak out some mumbo jumbo and it's just like what, and he's just like because this like surveying does like this and stuff like that, and it's like he's right, but how did he know that?
Who are you who is so wise in the ways of science? But like, so I mean, considering you've been there for, like you said, over 2 years now, how many other people come on and are promoted to party chief that quickly? Because like I said, again, you are one of the most dedicated, responsible people I know, and I imagine that would carry over just the same as it is in your personal life, even possibly more so into your work life. Because that's at that point you're getting paid to be responsible.
So let's see. Most of the party chiefs actually end up quitting.
That's a problem.
But there's been a couple who like I remember there was one when I first started and he was there for like a year and he was already a party chief and so that.
Really?
But yeah, he complains so much.
Oh
my goodness.
I don't like that.
I think Josh told me he was running a basic crew about 10, 11 months in.
Huh.
But I think Andy needed it, so he started doing basic stuff.
Yeah.
But then he quit to go to a different company.
Certainly
Yeah.
still, yeah, it is certainly situational too.
Yeah. But I
They
mean,
don't need a new party chief. or anything.
But he likes to have helpers work for like 2 to 3 years
Mhm.
and then do it. That's like the way like all the good ones have been doing it.
Yeah.
It's like because like they've done thousands of houses by that point, and so they
Yeah.
know everything in and out and stuff like that.
yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes he really needs like people to just be a party chief at this point.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's just an unfortunate.
So it's like
thing.
you
That's
got
the
to start
situation you're
early
in.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Cards you're dealt. Got to deal with it.
So I, whenever I come back or like go in the morning, I'm just like, are they gonna have a problem with one of the jobs that I did today? It's like because there's always still a problem. It's not stuff that like breaks the job or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, hey, stop, like you forgot about this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You need to get this and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it's things you really don't think about like while you're there, or like you can like once as they bring it up, you're just like, I remember my mindset when I was doing that job, and I remember why I didn't get that.
Yeah.
From my limited experience and what I've seen, it's more of like it makes sense in the moment kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then when it starts getting all laid out and they start doing all the mumbo jumbo and it doesn't make sense, you're just like, oh, I can see why now.
Yeah. It's like you forgot
Yeah.
to get this pull to here to
Yeah.
check it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's
Which
like,
is like-
okay, yeah, I got a pull from here and I got one from here, but because they're both kind of from the same direction, it's not really accurate.
Yeah.
They needed
Yeah.
one from here and then one from over
You
here.
know, like the opposites
Yeah.
to really cement the fact
Yeah.
that that's
Yeah.
the right measurement.
But just like when you're
Okay.
there on the job, you're just like, this makes sense in the moment.
Because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this point's located.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll just locate it off of 2 points that are
Yeah.
located and stuff
Or,
like that.
or sometimes it's just like the repetition of doing it thousands and thousands
Yeah.
of times.
Yes.
And you're not trying to look for shortcuts, but you're trying to look for ways to stay efficient.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so it's like whatever's, if you're taking time to think about like how to do like, if you're taking longer to think like, oh, should I show this or should I not? And stuff like that. It's like, if you just went and showed it anyway and so that
Yeah.
it would have been faster than you thinking about it.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
translates. I had a conversation with a guy at work that applies exactly to this. We were talking about like the kinds of workers there are, and he drew a graph, and he's like, "Let me tell you, like every worker can be put on this graph, and it's kind of counterintuitive to like what kind of work you want. So you have your simple Cartesian graph. You got your 4 quadrants, right?
Right.
So you have lazy workers, and then you have like really driven workers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then on the other scale, you have really dumb people, and you have really smart people.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you could pick someone who falls into one of these 4 categories, where do you want them? Do you want them hardworking and smart, hardworking and dumb, or do you want them lazy and dumb, or lazy and smart? And he's like, a lot of people just immediately, obviously, you want a smart person
hardworking.
who's a hard worker. No, you don't. You don't want that person. You want lazy people who are smart, because they're gonna do something good,
Yeah.
and they're gonna do it the easiest way possible.
Yeah.
They're gonna save time. They're gonna save money. They're gonna make it, as long as they're not so lazy that they try to like plan out the best way and they just like churn into like a procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because it's quicker and I'll do less work and it'll get what I need. That's the quadrant you want. And it's not a perfect system.
Yeah.
There's like little exceptions.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that always works.
No.
Because at the same time they won't show a lot of detail at that point and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally just thinking of Matt.
It's always the big question. It's
Yeah.
just like, am I just waving this around and there's nothing here?
Yeah.
And I'm looking for nothing.
So I actually have a question about how this works, and I don't think we need to dive too deep into this. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
looking
We
for a
can
quick
give
answer. So
Basic run.
when you use the laser to
The robot.
the robot,
The
when
gun.
you use the robot, there's one person holding the robot, right? And then
the
like on a
robot's-
tripod.
Yeah, it's on a tripod.
And then you have the other person walking around with the prism,
Yes.
and
So
it's like on a pole, right? And they just kind of stick it where they
it
need
is
it.
a piece of glass.
Yep.
The prism.
Yep.
That is it's literally like this with like a little piece down here, and
Yeah.
you screw it on top of the prism pole.
Okay, so it's literally the scepter from Indiana
Yeah.
Jones,
Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost
Yeah.
Ark. You
Yeah,
just you put
absolutely.
it where you need
But
it.
it's got
and
it's got
boom,
twisty
light
knobs
shines.
so you can launch it up like 30 feet in the air.
Okay, awesome,
Mhm.
awesome. So my question is, when you put that down, obviously you try to make it as straight up as possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Does it have any kind of like function, like if you tilt the rod?
There's a little balance bubble on it.
Okay,
what
that's
I mean.
it. I was wondering if you tilt the rod and it hits it, and it's like, does it go? Oh, right now the rod is tilted this much, which means and it's extended this much, and use like some trigonometry math. And
There's a lot of the
the
robot has a
bottom
lot
is
of
here.
things to figure. Like there's a bunch of numbers on there that if you were like really smart and do it on the fly, you could probably figure it out. But most of the time, it's just like, is the bubble in the circle?
Is the bubble in the circle? Okay, I like
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I don't know if I wouldn't say we've run out of topics to talk about.
I mean, I guess.
But let me just say, this has been a totally different podcast. And it really wasn't even the podcast. So I'll just say, I think this is the outro now, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it here, because this
yeah.
is about 2.5 hours we've been talking about just random stuff.
Yeah.
This was a
I mean,
very
once it's all
different
cut
podcast.
down and edited, it'll probably be like an hour 45.
Yeah, hour 45 to 2
If
hours.
Chase really wants to.
Chase is
do
gonna
that.
have to go through all this, listen to everything, see what we need to cut out. There were some things we talked
I mean, to
about
be
that you
fair,
guys aren't
he
gonna
probably
hear.
knows what he wants to cut out. He's probably thinking of it as like a surveyor. He knows what he's going to cut out.
Yeah.
The shortcut. He's going to go
up.
I mean, if you want, we could even like take the recording, break it up. Hey, you listen to the first hour and just like mark down the time period that we need to like look at, and then he can go in and like fine tune it. We can do something like that if you want. Anyway, this was very different. This was just us talking before we actually started recording the BakaTaka podcast you usually get, talking about anime and video games. But it just kind of turned into its own thing, and we felt like going with it and just rolling with it.
It was pretty
And
fun.
I think this was really cool. I'm totally okay with doing something like this again. Not labeling it the same as the other episodes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you guys are fans and you want to have a longer form, more personal thing, not talking just about anime and video games like we try to do.
I don't mind this. I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts, like talk show
It's-
radio,
it's
because I've
nice
had a
to
lot of
hear
time
them.
in the car.
Yeah.
So it's just like
It's nice when it's not like topic based.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
that-
with the
It's
other
just
one,
a conversation.
with the other one, I feel very more forced to keep on the anime and video game topic.
Yeah,
So
especially since we
I'm
try to
thinking
keep it around 45 minutes.
yeah,
too.
and I'm thinking more of what I've done and trying to consolidate it for that.
Yes.
For this, I can just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't mind doing this. This is fun.
Well,
This is a lot of fun.
we don't have a name for this.
It's called
But-
setting up the podcast.
This will probably happen next time. George will literally last week. George was talking about carbonara, and we had to make him stop. So
I
next,
talked for a good 20 minutes on that.
so next, I don't know. Whenever we feel like setting up a podcast and get off topic, we'll probably record another one.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with this. I really enjoyed making this. I hope anyone who's stayed this far, I hope you enjoyed listening to it and getting our unabashed opinions on things. But as always, on the right, it has been,
Chase.
and as always, in the middle, it has been,
Your boy Butter Toast, Eric Smith.
and again, as always, on the left, it has been George. Let us know what you think in the comments. There's not a whole lot of them because there's only a couple subscribers, which means they're very personal, and we do read them all. So if you want to tell us what you thought about this, put it in the comments.
I'll lay down the law.
Smash that like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell to get all of that glorious BakaTaka content,
Yeah.
and
We'll catch you next time with whatever we do.
yeah, we will catch you next time, Space Cowboy.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Peace.